So thank you so much for joining us today for what is truly what we think a monumental experience, not only for Sandy City, but frankly for Utah. We couldn't be more pleased that Cavalia has brought their production, which by all accounts is spectacular, to Utah. And so we thank you for that. And I want to just go over the logistics of what's going to happen today. First and foremost, though, I'd like to recognize our elected officials who have taken time out of their day to join us. So, of course, off to my right, we have Mayor Tom Dolan. Give a little wave. Everybody knows. There we go. He loves it when we have him do that. Mayor of Sandy City, and then Mayor Ben McAdams. Thank you for taking time out of your day as well. Mayor of Salt Lake County, of course. And then we have a nice showing of our city council members today. Thank you so much. So off to my left here, we have Steve Fairbanks. Here we go. Chris Nickel, Chris McCandless, Linda, and Maren Barker. Thank you so much for coming. Now, all of them are available for one-on-one interviews if you are interested after the show, if you have time. We are going to head after the press conference today. We have got a shuttle van available for anybody that's interested to see the raising of the big top. And so, of course, you can join us for that. That, by all accounts, again, is quite an experience. We're hearing between 45 minutes and an hour and a half for that. And what I hear, I know Normand will give us details, but an impressive showing nonetheless. Okay, so agendas, I don't know if you had them on your chairs, but we will follow that as you can see. But let me just briefly walk through the agenda. Of course, we'll start out with Mayor Tom Dolan, who will kind of express how excited we are to have this show in Sandy. We'll follow with Mayor Ben McAdams of Salt Lake County. And he, of course, will kind of talk about the economic impact as well as some other exciting elements of the show. And then we're pleased to have Normand Latourelle, who is the founder of Cavalia and also the co-founder of Cirque du Soleil. And as I understand, kind of a rare opportunity for us to hear from Normand. So we appreciate you taking the time to join us today. And then after I said, we will have the shuttle van available on the west parking lot for those that want to join. And hope you will enjoy that. The tent itself is the size of an NFL football field, for those of you that are trying to understand the size of this. So marking that off your bucket list will be an impressive thing. So with that said, I am going to turn the time over to Mayor Tom Dolan to introduce and welcome Cavalia.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for all that are being here today. This is an exciting event that we want to announce to the people of Sandy as well as Salt Lake County and actually the Wasatch Front. And I'm sure we'll see people from other states coming to see this spectacular performance. Cavalia Odysseo is one of the most spectacular entertainment events in the world, not just coming to our state, but as performing all over the world. We have announced in the last few years our Cairns area, which is 1,100 acres of redevelopment, including places to work, live, and play. This is one of our play events. We want people to come and see this particular performance because it's something that you'll never see it again. You'll never see anything like it. It is unique all to itself, with water and horses, all within what I had heard is the largest tent in the world. So we want to welcome them, and we want to encourage people to start early to get your tickets. The performances begin on April 20th. Ticket sales go on sale now through April 30th, so it's really important that you get your reservation in for your tickets soon because it will be a sellout for all of the weeks that it'll be here. So we want to, again, welcome Cavalia and her Odysseo performance. We're very impressed with what we've seen. Just as an aside, when we showed the film of what it is, the 5-minute film, to our city council, several of them wanted to know if we could bring it back every year. I know don't think Normand is able to do that. Currently, they're performing in Irvine, California. Is that correct? Irvine. And the show is very, very successful there. And they'll be moving from there to this location shortly. So I think those that will be driving by I-15, the 250 or so thousand cars a day that go by the site at the new town shops at Southtown, the new name for our shopping center, will see something that's pretty spectacular at the freeway. I think it's important that we also will recognize that this will look like snow on the mountains from that view, just like we have our view that we'll have this morning. So thank you all for being here, and let me welcome Mayor McAdams, who's been very supportive and helpful for all the projects that we do here in our Sandy community, but especially for bringing Odysseo to us. Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor Dolan. And what a pleasure it is to be here today to participate in this announcement of Cavalia that is coming here to Utah. First of all, the economic impact of Cavalia will not be insignificant. There will be 100 jobs for local public service individuals, for stables, concessions, merchandise, other things here in Salt Lake County. An additional 100 jobs for setup and takedown, and as we go out and see the tent, I think we can understand why it'll take 100 jobs for just the setup and takedown. There are 120 permanent staff who will be here staying in our hotels, eating at our restaurants, using our transportation, and supporting our economy for the duration of the show. So we're so grateful for the beneficial economic impact that this show will have on Salt Lake County. But Mayor Dolan is right that what will happen here is not only an event for the residents of Sandy, but it's an event for the people of Salt Lake County. And it's not only for Salt Lake County, but from across the state of Utah and a multi-state region. People will be coming from throughout this state, from throughout this region to attend this spectacular event. With a tent the size of an NFL stadium, this will be the Super Bowl of entertainment this year. So we are so excited, not just for the economic impact, but for the impact that this will have for families and individuals who will come and enjoy this show, for the memories and the spectacular event they'll be able to see and time they'll spend together will be monumental for our region. So thank you for bringing your wonderful show here to Sandy, to Salt Lake County, and to the state of Utah. We look forward to people coming and seeing this show, and while they're here, noticing the incredible things that are happening in Sandy City under Mayor Dolan's leadership and the leadership of the Sandy City Council. Incredible things as Sandy becomes Salt Lake's other downtown, with the leadership that we see, the quality of life, the incredible place to live, to work, to recreate right here in Sandy City is something that we are all so very proud of, and we hope that people, as they come to see the show, will see the incredible things that are happening right here in Sandy City. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry. Mr. Mayor Dolan, Mr. McAdams, thank you very much for welcoming us and helping us to come here. There's a video that we're going to watch. So, since Image have worded 1,000 words, before I start to speak, I would like to show you a little bit of the show, if you don't mind, and then I'll do my speech. It's okay for you. So, yeah, ready? Okay. I always change things, It's like that's what you do for a living, Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very happy, very proud to be here this morning. To tell you the truth, we are performing right now in the LA area, and usually we do big cities. The next city is over there out east in the big city. So when my guy who's doing scouting, his name is Peter, told me, he said, what about staying in, putting the tent in the South Lake area? And I say, well, do we have background? Did anybody have done it? Did ever, even Cirque, which I was part of many years ago, came to the South Lake area? They say, well, they did the arena show, but they never did with the tent. So that's where I said, okay, let's do it. If nobody have ever done it, let's do it. And that's what I like to do. I like to do things that nobody ever done. And that's what is Cavalia all about. Cavalia, I created Cavalia after I left Cirque du Soleil, and I wanted to do something that nobody ever done, which is bringing the equestrian arts to the performing arts world, which is very challenging, I can tell you. I didn't know nothing about horses when I had that idea. I don't regret at all, because I created the first show Cavalia almost 13 years ago, and it's still touring. It's now touring in China. And I've been all around the world. And after that, I created Odysseo, which I pushed the limit of what could be achieved for a touring show. And that's why the tent is so big. First, I wanted to have a lot of horses, about twice as the first show Cavalia. So we are coming with 65 horses. I wanted to have more diversity in the acrobatic, so we have integrated 45 fantastic artists, which are aerialists, acrobats, musician, dancer, and of course riders and trainer, into the most amazing, and you're going to see the tent, but into the most amazing stage in the world. The stage cover about two times a hockey rink arena. You don't feel it big when you're in the audience. It's very intimate, even if it's very big, because I call it the first 6D show in the world. I like to invent strange stuff. So what is a 6D show? 6D show is because we have many layers. The show opens, we have a forest, and then the forest disappears, and then you see a mountain, a real mountain that peaks at about almost 40 feet high. And behind the mountain, we have a screen that is about 3 times an IMAX theater screen that we project 3D images. So when you look at the entire stage, you feel like you're looking at the great Hollywood movie, but for real, with live action in front of it. And that make a big difference with whatever have been created before. At the end of the show, I mean, also, we have all the aerialists, and we're able to put a merry-go-round that comes from the ceiling of the tent that comes to stage, and you see fantastic acrobats on the merry-go-round. And at the end of the show, we fill the stage with 40,000 gallons of water, and you can see the horses and the acrobat just playing in the water. All that because I wanted to create a touring show that is as good or better than any permanent show you can witness not far from here, even in Las Vegas. And I wanted to have the Cirque du Soleil, my ex-partner, be jealous, which I think I have achieved that. He just sold the company because he was too jealous of me, so he couldn't beat. And obviously, I promise you, and it's a very hard show to describe. I know you're journalists, you'll have a tough time to describe the show. But when you're going to see the show, you're going to understand that this is a real invention. It's a show for, whatever you're 4 years old, 34 years old, or 84 years old. It's a show for the entire family. It's actually the only touring show that can address to so many people at the same time. It's very colorful. It's very peaceful. Because when you start to bring horses to stage, you have two choices. And I've seen a lot of horse event. And sometimes the horse event, the people are not delicate with horses. You can abuse the horse pretty easy. Where I have made the choice of being soft with the horse. And that pays off a lot. You're going to see we have happy horses on stage. You never hear whip clacking. You don't see harsh thing. We don't use spurs. Spurs are banned in our show. We use what we call snaffle, which are soft bits. I don't know if you know the equestrian world, but snaffle are soft bit, not hard for the mouth. This is part of our philosophy. And we went so far that at one point you get to see 8 people running and dancing with 30 horses, totally free, no ropes, no saddle, nothing, and just playing with them on stage. And it's just a marvel. It's very moving when you see that, because you can't believe, even, if you want to do that with dogs, good luck. But horses, horses are, they have a different thinking than dogs, because dogs are more like us. They are predator, and horses are surrounded by predator in nature. So they're very scared animal. But when they start to trust you, they're not afraid of human. They give you 10 times more than what you ask. And they are so fabulous animal. I didn't know horses before I started this show, and I just first fall in love with the aesthetic. I mean, you can probably agree with me. I think horses are the most beautiful animal on earth. Secondly, I fall in love of who they are, their personality, and how much they are dedicated to man, because they've been domesticated 5,000 years ago. Without horses, Utah wouldn't exist. Without horses, US wouldn't exist the way it is now. And we got one point rid of the horse because we replaced them by the horsepower. And the reason of the horsepower, we started with 2 horsepower because it was a machine pulling the size of 2 horses. It's been part of who we are. And one day, I always question myself why people, even the one who don't have horses or don't ride, or someone like me that is from a very urbanized born, when I always live in the city, why am I so attracted by the horse? And the answer I found to that is, I think we have horses in our gene. We have spent, for the last 5,000 years as human beings, more time with the horses than we have spent with our relative. Because the horse were part of the work, were part of the war, they were the machine, they were our friends, they were the one who carried and brought us all around the world, which became the inspiration of Odysseo. Cavalia Odysseo, the Odysseo is telling the story of this fabulous relationship between humankind and horses. The show is a journey. That's why we call it an odyssey. It's a little bit French. The show is a journey where horse and man travel together to discover the most beautiful landscape in the world. And the landscape, we have, of course, a set that show the landscape, show the forest, but after that, on top of that, we have those images. And all these images are hand drawing, and then transferred to computer, and then project in that giant screen that create this 3D effect. So overall, I can tell you, Odysseo Cavalia is a real invention. I promise you, because we've been touring with this show for 4 or 5 years, I promise you not only the Salt Lake City people, Sandy people, Salt Lake County people will enjoy the show, but I promise you, you will tell me after you see the show that this is the best show ever. That's what the people are telling when they see the show, and I'm very, very proud to bring this first big top tour in Sandy, in the Salt Lake County. For me, I'm sure it's going to be a great success. And what also I like a lot, and I've seen that in the plane yesterday coming from Irvine. I flew in a company that called JetBlue, you're probably aware of it, and there was more kids in the plane than they were adult almost. Usually in the plane you see 2 or 3 kids and you say, oh gosh, they're going to make noise. This is what is all about. When you arrive here, you feel that it's a family area, and you feel like yesterday I went to a restaurant, and there was that lady who used to live in Los Angeles, and she told me, I move here because people are nice. And the reason why I'm lucky to be born in Montreal, Canada, this is where we created the show, but the reason I still stay there, even if the weather is awful, is because we are good people. So I promise you, our good people going to bring you happiness to your good people here. Thank you very much.
Just for my benefit, in the interest of my job security, Linda Seville, she does have a last name. Sorry about that. Brain cramp. Sandy City is transforming itself to a destination community, truly. And Normand, thank you so much for bringing an event that really is helping to set the stage for everything we envision for this area. So with that said, we're going to stop talking and we're going to move ourselves over to the site and enjoy. I think we've got a sneak peek here of what amazing things are going to happen now, to be amazed by the logistics of it all. So thank you so much for coming.